I've decided that after all, I am going to do a bit of a preview. I mentioned the other day that I thought there were lots of interesting six credit riders. So instead of doing some kind of full preview, I thought you might find it useful if I just went through some of the six credit riders and pick out and highlight the ones that I think are interesting. With all of them, just keep considering how many opportunities and routes to points they have. And you might want to look at the parkour and see, how many sprint opportunities are there, how many punchy sprint opportunities, are the breakaway stages for rouleurs, for punchers, or for pure climbers, all that kind of thing. Consider which riders might be able to perform and get points on more than one type of stage. So, with that in mind, I'm just going to run through some of the riders I think are worth considering, starting with Michael Valgren. He's a breakaways only option, really, but you'll struggle to find one with much more class. Getting on a bit, but he's got solid results in the classics this season and a solo breakaway win in Torreno, so clearly still got it. Javier Romo is very interesting. He was up with Lipovitz and Sexas on the Itzulia Queen stage before he had some kind of freak crash. He was caught by the chase group, but still got third. And he also went to the line, was beaten, but he went to the line with Juan Ayuso in a breakaway stage in last year's Vuelta. So it feels like he's a stage win waiting to happen. Briouc Roland, Group Armour, I think he's a long shot. This is very much all on potential. His results this year have been ordinary, but he won the Junior Lombardia in 2024. He had three top tens in his first Grand Tour at the Vuelta last year. And now he's coming to the Giro with no obvious team leader to ride for, so potentially some freedom. Another slight stab in the dark would be Johannes Kolstad on Uno X. He is only 22, but last year he got multiple top tens in hilly Italian races and some promising GC positions too. He's done nothing this season yet. Alessandro Pinarello, you might have been seeing his name a bit. I think I might have picked him in a one-day race. He's down as the team leader for NSN and he's having a breakout season. He's a bit up and down. So, for example, he disappointed in Liège, but he was top 10 GC in Tirreno, top 3 in a stage win at O Gran Camino. He's a rider on a upward trajectory if you look at the PCS points, and that's always exciting. Another promising rider with promising GC results is Mathis Rondel on Tudor, top 5 at the Tour of the Alps, top 10 in Paris-Nice, some good results in the early season Mallorca races, and again, that sort of year-on-year improvement that, you want to kind of see for a breakthrough rider. A rider who's been around a while and possibly underpriced this year because he had a poor 2025 is Filippo Zana on Quick Step. He actually had Epstein-Barr virus, known as the kissing disease, but he is now seems to have renounced kissing and instead taken up getting top 10 in Liège. And he looked like one of the best climbers on the day, nearly followed Skjelmoser on the Rochefoucauld. He's also won a Giro stage before, so he's kind of got everything you need. And also on Quick Step, who have no real GC leader, I think Garofoli and Racanio Novero are also worth a look. On a different tack, we've got Pascal Ackermann in the sprinters. Pro Cycling Stats shows that he has a clear career decline, but only 2 seasons ago, he got 7 top 10s, including 4 top 5s at the Tour de France. The man can sprint. So if you're looking just for a cheap but sprint option with a lot of potential, maybe it's him. Then we've got a guy I really like, Afonso Eulalia on Bahrain, who's another kind of and down rider like Pinarello and Zana, though the longer term trajectory is still up. Sometimes the results don't show just how well he's been climbing, and also he might be put to work for Buitrago in this race. But he was 9th at the Rwanda Worlds, and that just doesn't happen unless you have incredible talent. Moving on to the Unibet Rose Rockets, we've got Lucas Kubis. Who I'm mostly mentioning, I think, because he's the highest ranked six credit rider on the start list on Pro Cycling Stats. On the other hand, he will be riding quite a number of stages as probably as part of Groenewegen sprint train, so maybe opportunities are limited. An alternative would be to look at Matthias Kopecky, who's could get into breakaways, and in the classic season, he was amongst the strongest in races like on Loop and Kerner. Also, having a great classic season was Alex Sagart. You can a big advantage with him is that you can probably expect to get some points from him into TT. It's a pity there's only one, but the points should be there. But he also has a massive engine. I think he's a kind of rider who might just be able to get themselves into a breakaway by sheer will, where others get their kind of luck of the draw. I think he might just be able to force himself into those moves. Andrea Vendrame, two-time Giro stage winner, Italian, which always helps. He's going to have Ackerman there for the pure sprints, but Ackerman can't climb. So he should have plenty of reduced sprint opportunities, and he can potentially go for breakaways. Last Giro, he got less than 300 points, which isn't great, but he's on fire this season. He's already got double the UCI points he got in the whole of 2025, including top 10 at Milan-San Remo. Simone Gualdi, he's at Lotto, and as I mentioned yesterday, a tummy bug has struck the Lotto camp. But as he wasn't at the Calpu Classic, whatever it was in the Ardèche, maybe he escaped it. And he's another one with amazing potential. He can climb and he's got a bit of a kick. You can look at his results, quite a few top tens. So he could be a dangerous candidate in the breakaway and picking up points in the reduced sprints if Arnaud Delim, is struggling with this tummy bug or not on form. Chris Harper is your secret Giro stage winner because he was the guy who won the Finestra stage when Simon Yates stole the Giro from Del Toro and Carapaz in exciting and inspirational style. He might repeat that stage win, but also there's a small chance that he's got enough climbing staying power that he could be looking at trying to get a top 10 or a decent result in the GC. And very much last but not least is UAE, because we've got, with Joao Almeida pulling out of the race, their GC leader is Adam Yates. He won a Gran Camino, but it wasn't against great opposition. He doesn't look amazing. And are they really going to put all these domestiques to ride for him entirely? Or are they going to get more freedom? Second. And so you've got Morgado, top 5 in Flanders, multiple lower level one-day wins. Igor Arrieta's having a breakout season with a top 10 at Itzulia, Basque Country, and top 3 at the Alula Tour. And then you've got Marc Soler, because he's Marc Soler, and you might just want to get him and enjoy the ride. So hopefully some ideas. You might build various ones across various categories, with Vingegaard being 30 points. Maybe some of those might come in useful.